There are lots of things all around us, exciting things that surround us.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Things that go up, things that go down, things that go pop, things that go round, with special cameras to show you inside. It's going to be a big surprise.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Do you know?
Let's find out!
Hello, I'm Maddie, and today I'm relaxing at home. What do you like to do to relax? I like reading. Sometimes I play games. And I enjoy drawing pictures. Can you see what I've drawn? That's right, it's a television. Do you like watching television? You can watch television programmes in lots of different ways. On a tablet, on the computer, or snuggled up on the sofa watching the television. But how do the pictures appear on the screen? Do you know how a television works? Let's find out. How does it work?
Television.
Most televisions we enjoy watching programmes and films on have the same main parts. This is a remote control. It has lots of buttons on it, and we use it to turn the television off and on. We can also use the remote control to turn the sound level, called the volume, up or down, making it louder. Well, that's really loud now, isn't it? Or quieter. Now it sounds really quiet. But the biggest part of a television is this rectangle here. Do you know what it's called? It's called the screen. And when the television is turned off, the screen goes black. And when the television is turned on, the picture appears so we can watch a programme. But how do the colours and pictures appear on the screen? I think we need to take a closer look. The screens on mobile phones, tablets and televisions are made up of thousands of tiny squares called pixels. Under a magnifying glass, one tiny pixel is a square block filled with colour. But if we zoom into the pixel closer than we can see with our eyes or a magnifying glass, each pixel is made from 3 different coloured lights called subpixels. The lights are red, green and blue. When all 3 lights are turned right down, the pixel will be black. When all 3 lights are at full brightness, the pixel will be white. When the 3 lights are turned up or down to different levels, across the whole screen, we see millions of different colours. And all the tiny pixels together, filled with different colours, make the pictures we see on our screens. You should never sit too close or try to see the television pixels yourself, so I've got my special microscopic camera to look closely for us. The microscopic camera can see really tiny things and make them look much bigger. Let's use it to see if we can see the lights that make up a pixel on a television screen. But first, I'm going to pause the picture so that it stops moving. Now, let's put my microscopic camera on this white area just here and have a look at what we can see. Wow, look at that. We can see lots and lots of sets of coloured stripes. They are red, green and blue. These are the subpixels. And each set of those stripes makes up 1 pixel on the TV screen. Now, because these lights here are turned up to full brightness, our eyes see those pixels as the colour white. So now if I move the microscope to this black area of colour here, now the microscope can't see anything at all. That's because the lights in these pixels, the red, green and blue lights, have been turned right down. So the microscope can't see the pixels, but our eyes see that colour as black. If I try putting the microscope camera on this purpley colour there, Look! Now we can see a lot of blue light and a little bit of red light. That's because blue and red make purple. And if I try to put the microscope on this orange area here, the microscope can see lots of red and a little bit of green light, and our eyes see that as orange. Now I want to try something. I'm going to press play so the pictures start moving again. And if the pictures are moving, the colours will change, so the light in the pixels should change too. Let's give it a go. There they went. Now we've got green lights, blue lights. Green and blue, multicoloured. The lights in the pixels are changing as the pictures move so that we can see millions of different shades of colour. When we watch a television screen, the pixels are much further away, and we see those pixels as different colours, and those colours make up the pictures on the television screen. I loved finding out how the pictures on televisions and other screens work, did you? What was your favourite part?
Do you remember what the red, green and blue lights are called that make up the different colours on our screens? That's right, they're called subpixels. Did you hear the sound from the television get quieter and quieter as I turned the volume right down? And did you see the way the subpixels changed when I pressed play on the television?
When I watch television in the living room, sometimes I like to sit on the floor because it's really comfortable. Do you know why that is? That's because the floor has carpet on it. Carpet helps to keep the floor warm, and sometimes it feels really bouncy. But there are lots of different types of carpet. You can get carpet for living rooms, multicoloured carpet rugs like this one, tough carpet mats, and even carpet for the stairs. But do you know how carpet is made? Let's find out.
How is it made?
Carpet.
I've come to a carpet factory. It's very big, very noisy, and full of enormous machines that make carpets. Here they make over 300,000 square metres of carpet every year that go onto big rolls like that. That's enough carpet to cover 42 football pitches. Carpets can be made from lots of different materials, but all the carpets in this factory are made from wool.
Wool comes from sheep. Their woolly coats, called fleeces, are removed in the summer to keep them cool.
Lots of things are made from wool, like my woolly hat, jumpers, and even socks. A carpet is made of lots of short threads called tufts, and I've got some tufts just here. If we take a look, can you see them in the carpet?
The tufts are fixed into place by weaving them into rougher threads on the back of the carpet. There are two types of these threads: wefts that go across and warps that go up and down.
But it's quite tricky to see, so I'm going to use my special camera so that we can take a closer look. This is a microscope, and it lets me see small things much, much bigger. Look! Now we can really see the wefts and the warps. The wefts are the bits that are going across the carpet, and they look a little bit like straw, don't they? And then can you see the thinner white threads that are going over and under the wefts? Those are called the warps. And those wefts and warps work together to trap the tufts, and that makes our carpet. It's clever, isn't it?
Before it arrives at the factory, the wool has been spun into something called yarn.
But to be turned into carpet, it has to be wound onto reels like this. This is called a bobbin.
And to make a big patterned carpet, we need thousands of them.
Wow, now this is a lot of brightly coloured bobbins. This machine is
called a creel, and there are around 13,000 bobbins loaded onto it. The yarn is pulled off all of these bobbins and is gently guided from holes up here all the way down to some holes down there, and that stops all of the yarn getting tangled. But it just looks like a beautiful rainbow spider's web, doesn't it? All of the coloured threads of yarn then feed into a huge machine called a loom. A loom is a machine that turns yarn into carpet through a process called weaving. The loom weaves the yarn into the weft and warp threads that we saw earlier. It looks incredible, but it all happens so fast. Let's look in more detail. This is my special slow motion camera, and it lets me see things that are happening really quickly, much slower. Let's go. First, the coloured yarn is cut into tufts. Look, a shiny metal claw called a gripper holds the yarn in place. Then a knife slides across to cut it. The gripper pulls the tufts down to where the weft and warp threads are. A fast metal stick called a rapier pulls the weft thread across, while metal teeth weave the warp threads under and over. This traps the tufts in place, a bit like a sandwich. This loom makes 8 square metres of carpet every hour. That's the same size as 4 single beds. After it comes off the loom, any little holes that are left are stitched by hand. To make extra sure that the tufts don't fall out, a coating is put on the back of the carpet, and the coating is made of a material called latex. It's a white sticky material that looks a little bit like glue. It's heated as it travels on rollers until it dries and hardens. I can feel the heat though, it's really warm in here. Lastly, the carpet is rolled onto this raised floor where it gets a final check. All the carpets are then wrapped in plastic and taken to the storeroom. And here we have some finished carpet, wrapped up and ready to be rolled out across floors all over the country. I loved seeing how carpets were made. What was your favourite bit? Do you remember what the rolls of wool were called? That's right, they're called bobbins. Did you hear the sound of the loom weaving the carpet? And did you see the gripper gripping the tufts of yarn? So the next time you sit down or play on a rug or a carpet, you'll know how it's made. And now you know how a television works to play your favourite programme. Right, I think it's time to watch my favourite programme. I'll see you soon.
There are lots of things